We have with us today Hiroko from our Marina del Rey, Venice Beach office. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You've had quite an illustrious career. Talk about where you're from, how long you've been in California, and how did you got started in real estate?
I was raised in Japan, and then in a very small city, Kyoto, and conservative family. My family are very traditional, and then we are not so much wealthy. We didn't go out of the country until my age 20 years old.
Wow.
And then I saved my money, and then the first trip was Thailand. And then that's maybe part of my reason I had a desire to go out of the country, to live out of the country. Make it shorter, I had an opportunity, just turned to be 40 years old. I met my friend in California, and then we talked how I can come here. And then she gave me the United States is a great place. Although you're foreign people, came from other country, you have an opportunity to work in any different industry. Then miracle happened. I got a job for the local Japanese magazine company, and I worked as an editor-in-chief.
Wow.
That was 2004.
So talk about your niche. I know you specialize in the Japanese clientele, and you do seminars, and talk a little bit about what you do to market to the Japanese clients.
Sure. Yeah, so my background was in a real estate magazine company for the Japanese community. So I already known many people. After 5.5 years, I jumped to the real estate industry with Remax. So I always set up some marketing, and especially set up some seminar. Before COVID, I used the South Bay office to introduce a couple speaker, including me, about the real estate market. And sometimes I brought a CPA or some financial advisor, and then brought the many information to help the seller.
And these were seminars in Japanese, and you'd have a CPA and a financial consultant kind of help navigate their financial situation.
Yes,
that's
correct.
Fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about cultivating the people that show up to your seminars and turning them into buyers and sellers. How much business do you get from your seminars? And how do you stay in touch with these people? Do they have to sign in, and do you have their email addresses? And talk about a little bit about using that as a sphere of influence.
I set up the seminar in person or online. Either way, I always receive the registration. And once I registered, my assistant put their information on my database. So when they shown up, so I know when this person, how many times shown up at my seminar when I call to the following up email or call. Then recently I'm helping the little older elderly people, and then although in the Japanese community, I would say 80 to 90% are the homeowner. So that will be a potential seller. So they need to sell and downsizing or go back to Japan after the retirement. So whenever I spoke as a speaker or teacher, I'm a position to providing some information, not the salesperson. Right. So people are coming to my seminar. Most of the people coming to my seminar multiple times, 3 or 5 or sometimes 10 times.
Wow.
Then they trust me, and then once they need to sell right away, they will call me. Then I started to show my consultation, and then help them to get the listing.
And how do you constantly stay in touch with the people that show up to your seminars?
So I set up the seminar almost every other month. So in between, I'm sending some email or newsletter. And then sometimes I try to call then how are you doing? And then, yeah, keep in touch monthly basis.
And what sort of speakers do you invite to speak at your seminar?
So sometimes a CPA, tax person, sometimes financial advisor, and a moving company, like an international moving company is a little specialized. And also sometimes I invited the Japanese local CPA or Japanese like a kind of attorney set up for many immigration things. So many different things. So people, when people coming from outside of the country, that's tough. But coming back to the country, it's so many things to do. So I would like to make it one-stop shop like them. So would like to provide a great information service. And then after COVID happened, I switched the gear to the virtual event. So I set up almost every other month. I serve the Japanese speaking seminar by Zoom. And
you're doing Zoom videos, and how many people are you getting on those Zoom videos now?
So usually 50 to 100 people coming, because I've been doing almost 7 years for this type of thing. So
and how often do you do these?
Almost every other month. And then recently I'm focusing for the elderly clients who are going back to Japan after retirement or needed to downsizing to sell the house and buy some smaller house. Yeah.
So how do you invite these people to your Zoom meetings or your live meetings when you were having live meetings?
So I have already a couple marketing database cultivating for a couple years. And also I post many different social media or newsletter, keep in touch with many past client or my contacts.
So you market specifically to the Japanese community?
Yes.
Okay.
So for my niche part.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's done well. It served you well. And talk a little bit about switching gears. You are very actively involved in the community, not only the Japanese community, but you're involved in the Women's Council of Realtors and the ARIA, the Asian American Real Estate Association. Can you talk a little bit about your involvement and what drives you to continuously stay involved?
Yes. So when I was working in Japan, I was an editor-in-chief of the Japanese real estate magazine company. And then I have been getting involved a lot of real estate industry in Japan. So I became to be a realtor here. I'm so grateful to working in United States in the real estate industry because of the association's hard work. The U.S. market is so fair and transparent and very safe. So that's why I want to be a part of this organization. So I started to get involved in the ARIA, Asian Real Estate Association of America, helping the local board and as a board member. And also I joined the committee of the Global in National Association of Realtors for 5 years. And now I'm taking a role for the Global Ambassador to Japan and Mongolia. So I'm helping for the Japanese community, Japanese real estate industry or field, keep in touch and providing some information. And also for local, I started to get involved for the Women's Council of Realtors from 2019. Then I love to work with many realtors, especially for female, because we are so close to each other. And then compared to Japan, I would say less than 10% are the female in the real estate industry.
Oh, interesting.
But here, 65% are the female realtor.
Yes.
But in the beginning, the Real Estate Association didn't allow female to be a realtor member in the beginning of the our history. And our Women's Council started to get involved and then expand nationwide association. And I was very impressed for this history. So I'm getting involved to help each other.
That's wonderful. Thank you for being involved, and thank you and congratulations on your great success. What made you choose RE/MAX as your brokerage, and why have you stayed with RE/MAX?
So my first joining Remax was I was working with a great agent JDI in my company, and he was my partner. And then I was helping him. He taught me a lot. That's the beginning of my Remax career. And then I belong to be myself. I switched my office from South Bay to Marina Del Rey, and then everybody, including you and Terry Valentine, everybody are so helpful. And then whenever we jumped into the industry as a new agent, so many things happened, and then so struggling. Everybody pick up the phone, call me back, and then that's so helpful, and that's why I stick with Remax, and I love it, Remax.
Well, congratulations on your success again, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.